Hello and welcome to my June wrap-up with tea and macarons, both of which I'll eat once I'm done with this video, as I will do it myself. So I know that technically the month isn't over yet, but as of tomorrow and for most of July, I will be traveling here and there. So I wanted to get this video out for you as soon as possible, hence I'm filming a lot and editing a lot today. So July was kinda a weird reading month. I read some good books, but then I DNF'd some books. I read a total of 16 books, and I'm saying it's weird because I either read nonfiction or new adult, which I generally don't read, and everything else I tried to read, I basically DNF'd. I don't know, it was weird. So let's just start with the books I DNF'd this month, shall we? The first one is English by Wang Gang. This centers around children in China, learning English during this period. I don't know who was the emperor or ruler then, and basically the central role is this English dictionary in their classroom. But there's this weird scene in the book got quite disgusting, and I read about 125 pages before I decided to DNF it, because honestly it got slightly disgusting. And also see how small this looks? But in fact it's not. This little book has 350 pages. Don't be deceived by the looks. The second book I DNF'd and I think that I will probably go back to it at some point in my life is Economics, The User's Guide by He Jun Chang. This one I got one in a Goodreads giveaway last year, and basically what I'm studying in university both revolves around English and in economics, and because I was craving some nonfiction I decided to pick this up. I read, I think, 95 pages, yes, and this has 550 pages. At the moment, it's standing at DNF because I don't want it to stay on my Goodreads page for months, because it will probably take me months to finish this. But I will try to finish it eventually. Then the next nonfiction book that I actually finished, and I borrowed it from a friend and I already returned it, was the Borgias, History's Most Notorious Dynasty by Mary Hollingsworth. I love the Borgias, and I fell in love with the whole family and their intrigue while watching the Borgias TV show, which they regretfully stopped in the middle of such an exciting time, but bummer. So I read a book to find out kind of what happens with the Borgias, and I really like this particular book because it only lists the historical facts. Like, if you've heard of the Borgias, there's like rumors of incest and lots of people being poisoned or murdered in order for Rodrigo Borgia to become Pope Alexander's successor. And I love that kind of intrigue and how much power the Pope holds, but how many things he has to do in order to maintain that power. And I liked that the author, Mary Hollingsworth, just stuck to the facts. She didn't like, oh, there's rumors that Lucrezia and Cesare were together and had a child or whatever. She doesn't do that. So yeah, that was a plus. Then the next 10 books I read were books 2 through 11 of the Rosemary Beach series by Abby Glines. And book number 12 actually comes out 2 days from now, so I'll probably get that as soon as it's out. My favorite is still Fallen Too Far, which I read back in May. I kept on listening to the audiobooks, so I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks this month, hence why the number of books I've read this month is so kind of large. My favorite is still Russian English stories, and we also get Woods and Della's, Grant and Harlow's, and Mason Reese's stories. So my favorite are Russian Blair and then Mace and Reese. As far as the other one goes, I gave them a lower rating because kind of the story repeats itself. The whole series is just set in Rosemary Beach, and we just get this different kind of characters. I'll still finish the series because there are more characters that I want to know what will happen to them. And my favorites were definitely Russian Blair. And my favorite part of the other books that aren't focused on Russian Blair was the parts when we actually got to see Russian Blair. Did that make any sense? And I know I haven't done a lot of book reviews on this channel lately. I did try to do a review of the Rosemary Beach series, but it just turns out gross. I don't like it. It was a pain to edit, and I couldn't even put I don't know what is it when reviewing books and videos. I can talk to you now, but I can't review a book. It's weird. So basically, if you want to see my reviews, just add me on Goodreads. I'll link it down below. Just add me there and you'll see all the books I've been reading and what else I've been up to. basically. Yeah, might as well just follow me on all social medias, my blog, and Twitter, and I'll also link my Instagram. Everything is at Curious Daisy, basically. It's like my blog. Then, since this year is the 150th anniversary of Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, I actually decided to finally read Alice in Wonderland. I only read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I haven't read it yet because I did not like that book. But I feel like a lot of people love it, and a lot of people are gonna hate me when I give it such a low rating. So as of right now, I haven't read it at all. I feel like I've missed something in the book, and I definitely want to read it, give it a reread later on in my life. Then I reread The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, which I later gave to my mother, so I don't have that one to show you either. The first time I read this book was, I think, 2 years ago, and then I gave it 5 stars, and I thought it was one of my all-time favorite books. But rereading it now because I wanted to like give it to my mother because she was going through something, so I just, you know, reread it. The second time around I only gave it 4 stars, but I think it's still pretty good. And now on to some books that I actually can show you, but there's only like 2 of them really, so not that much. This one you saw in my birthday book haul. So this is We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Jo Fuller. I don't know how to say this, and I've studied English and I've studied phonetics, but I still don't know how to say this. What can I say about this book? Basically, it's a stunning cover. Yeah, it was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2014, and I got it because Reagan from Peruse Project was raving about it or hauling it or something. I don't know if she's read it actually. I like the first half, and then as soon as we learned that something you think is this way turns out to be a completely other way that made no sense, but I'm trying not to give any spoilers. I was kind of disappointed. Not disappointed. I don't know. It's like, how can I say it? It was weird. Like, things make sense, but the way they're shown is like too strong for my taste. Just follow me on Goodreads. What I've written there makes more sense than what I'm trying to say now. So just Goodreads. But I ended up giving this one just 3 stars. Then I finally read Shatter Me, the first book in the Shatter Me trilogy by Tahereh Mafi. I've had this for a while, and with all the TV show news made me really excited, and I wanted to finally read it, and I did. And basically the writing is rather juvenile, and it's like the Hunger Games only with different characters and a little bit of a different setup, but it's way easier to read. Like, it's 350 pages. This edition is 350 pages, and it took me 3 hours to read because the font is kind of big and it goes by so fast. But yeah, I think I give it 2.5 or 3 stars. I'm not rushing anywhere with the second book because not really. And the last book that I just finished actually is The Wrath and the Dawn, the new release everyone is raving about by Renee Adi. Is that how you say it? I wanted to try and read a new release for a change, just to kind of be more in the trends, and I shouldn't have done it. Like, it's a retelling of 1001 Nights, which I haven't read all of it, but I have read bits and pieces, and I've heard stories, and I've seen adaptations, and so I kind of know the gist of it all. And this is a retelling, my first ever retelling, by the way, and I wasn't a fan of. I gave it 2 stars. I know a lot of people said I had trouble with the terms, kind of. I didn't have trouble with that. I had trouble basically with everything, because like 1001 Nights is fabulous, and this one kind of starts that way, but yeah. I was intrigued by Khalid and whatever the girl's name is, Shirzad, I don't know. And I will probably read the second book just to see how it's all gonna work out, but overall I was not impressed with it. It looks pretty, the hardcover book looks very pretty, but that's about it. I'm also, here's my Kindle, why not hold it up? Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. I did a post on my blog about classics I've yet to read, and I also mentioned it in my Subword TBR, I believe, and everyone on my blog said that's just like one of their favorite classics and that I should definitely read it. So yeah, I started reading it. I think I read about 30%, and I will probably have finished it by the end of June, but as I mentioned, I have to film and post, upload, edit, and upload this video today, so you'll hear more about Little Woman in my July wrap-up. I hope you had a great reading month. I hope you'll have an even happier reading month in July. And yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up, because if you give it a thumbs up, more people actually get to see the video. I'd really appreciate it. And goodbye!